second match that we're going to talk about, Manchester United and Chelsea, I think that kind of bled into their thinking going into the match, seeing that Leicester tied. Well, not necessarily going into the match, but I think there was a moment in the match when they just kind of conceded the win and played for a draw.
It almost felt like both sides almost conceded for a win. I mean, I thought about midway 10, 15 minutes into the second half, it just seemed like the game settled. The play was a bit sloppy, a lot of turnovers, really not too many chances created. And then towards the last quarter of the half or so, of the second half, I should say, Man U looked like they were on the offensive. They were starting to get some rhythm, starting to create a few chances. But honestly, the back and forth kind of reminded me of Manchester United's 0-0 draw just a few weeks ago against Arsenal. Like, the game flow really reminded me of that game. And speaking of Manchester United just being 0 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses against top 5 play there in the league this season, after last season going 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. So Matt, let me pose the question to you as a Red Devil supporter there. Does Manchester United take a toothless Tuchel approach and play for results when they play the top teams instead of playing for wins?
I don't think so, because last year it was so reversed. They did win 5 games, 3 draws, and only 2 losses to the Big Six. But this year they've been a little bit unlucky. I think what plays into it a little bit is Pogba didn't play. We played with 2 defensive midfielders in the midfield instead of playing another attacker. I will concede that I didn't like Ole Gunnar's tactics this past game. He could have subbed in, Van der Beek or anybody to give Bruno Fernandes some help, because Chelsea had Conte just running wherever Bruno was. There was N'Golo Conte, wherever he was. And so I think he could have made some changes, but the only change he really made was bringing Anthony Martial in the 80th minute, which isn't really going to affect the game. And at that point, Manchester United looked like they settled into this draw. And it was almost like a tale of 2 halves. I thought the first half, I think Manchester United found something late towards the end of the first half with Chelsea, or on the left side with Marcus Rashford, and against Kelly Hudson-Odoi. And Thomas Tuchel also noticed that and made the change to Reece James at halftime. So, however, that game went sort of kind of how we said it was going to go. I think we predicted that Manchester United would have been a little better, but I do want to say that Chelsea needs to be a little more clinical. They need to finish in the final third.
Yeah,
a little bit more. Chelsea probably created the better chances out of the 2 teams, but. Thank you for watching Payday Parlays on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get to all of our latest videos. And visit paydayparlays.com for more content and articles.